Hi, Daniil. Hi, everyone. We will start with press conference. If you have any questions in English, please raise your hand. Craig Gabriel, go ahead.
Daniil, congratulations. How does it feel to have won your first match at Roland Garros?
Feels great, but the most important is, the level of tennis. I've been showing, as I said before the tournament, it was not mind games. I was not saying this, so my opponent can see I was really feeling good. I managed to play consistent today. I actually played much better on practices still than today, but so there is room for improvement. But that was one of not many matches where I was really tight. Hopefully it can be only better for the next rounds. As I say, really happy first of all with the win and then with my level of play also.
Chris.
Daniil, congratulations. The things that you mentioned before the tournament, you like the feel of the balls, you're hitting the ball well. Can you elaborate a little more about what that's like for you? And is that why you would say your range, you're able to hit more winners, less unforced errors in general?
Yeah, that's an easy explanation, at least for me. It's normal that every tennis player feels the ball differently and every tennis player likes different balls. So I don't want to say that, so it was Dunlop ATP, all the tournaments before. I don't want to say this ball is bad, but this ball is bad for me. So I won't say that this ball is bad in general, and only on clay, because I like this ball on hard court. So I just couldn't control it, like especially actually UTS, where I was practicing. I felt that I recovered from COVID completely. So I was practicing like crazy, a lot of hours, and I just couldn't make shots work. And that was really, I would say, disgusting feeling. And as soon as I came here, these balls are much lighter. They go faster in the air. So that's why I can make them also drop faster before the baseline and stuff like this. And yeah, as you say, I saw I did 16 unforced errors today. 4 of them were double faults, so it's 12, and it's 4 per set. This is a huge statistic, and that's how I can make damage in slams and can win great tournaments.
Any other questions, please? Raise your hand. Matt.
Hi, Daniil. You mentioned having COVID there. Can you just talk about how it affected you and the period you think it affected you the most? When did you make a full recovery?
Yeah, it's never easy to talk about this because coming with COVID is also the isolation straight away, and which meant that 10 days I was at home, basically almost all the time lying on the sofa. Even if I tried to do some physical, I was also not feeling that well, so I couldn't do much. And I have a small apartment. So when I was coming to Madrid, I felt like I was maybe 95%. But actually, after coming back from Madrid and Rome, where I got injured also before Rome, I pulled my abdominals a little bit. Of course, I didn't say it to anyone to try to play a good match. And coming back and having like 2-3 days off and coming back on the court, I felt that now I'm actually 100%. And so coming to Madrid, I was like at maybe 70 or 60. And that's, I think, how COVID affects your body. And it's always tough, to say, because sometimes during the year you're going to have this down moment. So maybe it was just one of them. But I feel like, yeah, COVID was tough for maybe 5-6 weeks since I got it. And now now I feel 100%.
Jerry.
Daniil, many congrats. So at this stage of the season, I'm just curious, do you still plan to attend the Olympics, and under what conditions?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm looking forward to Olympics. It's going to be my first Olympic Games. We have a great team, so we can do some doubles, mixed doubles, everything. At least I'll sign for everything and then see how I play singles, of course. Gonna be amazing experience. Of course, with COVID, maybe it's not gonna be the same like every year. Talking about conditions, of course, if you have to quarantine for 14 days in the room, I want to tell you, nobody from tennis players will go there. But if you, so far from what I know, you can come there 5 days before the tournament. So get used to the jet lag, get used to conditions, and if these conditions stay, I think many people will go.
Chris.
Daniil, about your play on the clay and the fact that you've joked about it a little bit or been really honest about how you feel about the clay, and your chances on it. But now that you've gotten this win, you're feeling conditions better. Do you feel a little bit more hopeful about what you can do and how deep you can go in this tournament?
Yeah, I feel really hopeful. As I say, and you could see it today in the match, I'm feeling that here, at least this year, with this weather, with these balls, I can play like on hard court. So it doesn't feel different than Australian Open for me coming into this tournament. And now when I'm coming to these big tournaments feeling like this, I know that I'm capable of doing big things. After, you're gonna always have tough opponents. You know, Australian Open, I was in the final. I almost lost to Filip Krajinovic because he's a great player in the third round. So if I'm going to lose here in Roland Garros, it's probably going to be because my opponent will play very good. Because, as I say, I feel really confident. I move well, I slide well. You could see, I think he made maybe only one drop shot winner. Yeah, feeling great.
Craig, sorry.
Daniil, if I could just let me ask you again, if I could, about the COVID situation. What was it like when you were at your worst? When was that? And when was it that you first felt 100%? Like, how long ago from today?
As I say, first time I felt really 100% was, to not be mistaken, like 1 week and a half ago when I came back from Moscow to practice. And that's where I felt like, okay, now I can, play for 3 hours, practice for 3 hours, do physical later. And of course, I'm going to be really tired, but I'm going to, my body is going to be capable of doing this. Because as I say, in Madrid, I had 2 tough matches where I was kind of okay physically during the matches, but then I got injured like straight away, which doesn't happen that often to me anymore, especially the small muscle injuries. And it was abdominal, so it's something really rare for me. And the toughest moment was during the 10 days. I think on the second or third day after I knew that I was positive, that's where I felt not so good, but nothing too serious either, because I was able to, to leave. Like, I was not laying down thinking, having hallucinations or anything.
Last 2 in English. Cindy.
We can
You're
hear
still
you.
muted. Cindy, you're muted. No, I'll go with Chris.
Daniil, does it help you that you're an honorary Frenchman in some ways? You train in France, you speak fluent French. Do you think this is something that could energize you as you play your second round match against Tommy Paul?
I think definitely, especially till you are playing a French player in Roland Garros, which is not easy. I had it 3 times. It's always a benefit for me. I think a lot of French people are gonna support me, and it's always nice. We have some public here. Of course, depends the court you play. You're gonna have less or more people. But today was a really nice atmosphere. I felt like people were going for me.
Last one in English, Cindy.
Let's try again. Can you hear me now, Daniil?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. May I ask you to look ahead a little bit to Wimbledon? It's been, 2 years since anybody's really played on grass at all. Can you think in your mind what it will be like to re-enter the gates at Wimbledon, and what will be the transition like for people who haven't really played on grass at all?
It's actually true. I didn't even think, but I don't think anybody practiced on grass last 2 years because there is no reason to do it. Tournaments are hard on clay courts. And it's going to be super nice to be back at Wimbledon, of course, with the French Open moving 1 week forward. If you do well, it's not going to be easy because you're probably going to have to either skip Halle or Queens and go straight to Wimbledon. And as you say, first time in 2 years, you have your first round match. You play Kevin Anderson or somebody. Let's see how you do. And so it's not going to be easy this year, but everybody going to try to do their best.
Thank you very much. We'll do 2 questions in French. If you raise your hand, to 2 questions in French. Eric, we start with you.
Oui, bonjour Daniil. Félicitations pour cette victoire. Donc, enfin une victoire à Roland Garros pour toi, qu'est-ce que ça fait de gagner enfin un match à Roland Garros? Et est-ce que cette mauvaise série ici à Paris, à Roland Garros, commençait à te peser un peu?
Je suis très heureux, bien sûr. C'est jamais facile quand tu es 0-4 sur un des grands chelems. Et même si, comme j'avais dit avant le tournoi, je sentais vraiment bien sur l'entraînement, quand j'ai rentré sur le terrain, j'étais un peu tendu, ce qui m'arrive pas souvent. Et je commençais 0-2, ça commence à mettre le doute tout de suite. Pourquoi? Lui, il sert bien, donc il pouvait tenir son service, mais tout de suite, j'ai repris l'avantage. Je trouve que je l'avais gardé tout le match, même quand il a servi pour la troisième. Je sentais que tous les jeux sur son service, je suis là, je suis proche à le breaker, et ça avait marché. Donc c'était ça le clé. Et je sens honnêtement très content pour l'avenir aussi. Je sens que je peux bien jouer, ça c'est le plus important. Pour me battre l'opponent, il doit jouer bien, et ça c'est bien à savoir.
And last one, any other question in French, please raise your hand. Eric, you close it.
Oui, est-ce que tu penses que cette victoire que tu attendais depuis tellement longtemps peut te servir de déclic, que maintenant, ça y est, tu es lancé, que ça y est, avec la terre battue, vous êtes amis, vous êtes copains?
Tout de suite, j'ai oublié le mot. Bien sûr, en tout cas, bien sûr. Qu'est-ce que je voulais dire? Parfois en français ça bloque, je veux répondre en anglais, mais c'est sûr, oui, que comme j'ai dit, le plus important c'est que je joue bien ici. Je vais être bien sûr moins entendu, parce que là j'ai vraiment rien à perdre. J'avais au moins fait, on va dire, un gros challenge. Et pas sûr si on parle de terre battue lui-même, mais en tout cas ici à Roland Garros, sur le terre qu'il y a, avec les balles qu'il y a, je sens vraiment prêt à jouer bien, et ça c'est le plus important.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Merci.
Thank you, Daniil. Have a good day.